Isn't this park beautiful?
It's so lovely even in the winter time.
That water. Oh man, I miss the ocean. That's gorgeous. Just like you.
Honey, did you just hear that?
The duck?
The chicken. They've got chickens here.
Honey, that was a duck.
No, listen. Chicken. It was a chicken.
It just went quack quack.
I'm so excited to see the chicken.
Honey, where would a chicken be? There's like water right there.
We definitely have to go find the chicken though.
What chicken?
Listen, you'll hear it. Chicken.
That's it. It went quack quack. That's a duck.
It was a chicken.
Honey, what noise does a chicken make?
Honey, it was a chicken.
That's it's a duck.
Listen. It was a chicken.
That's a duck. A D-U-C-K, duck.
It was a chicken, honey.
Honey, no, that's a freaking duck. Where would a freaking chicken live at a lake? Like, you absolute, complete, total, like, honey, you know what? I think you're right. That was definitely a chicken. Okay, I know that was a little bit corny, but stick with me here. So that was a story from one of my favorite books, a series of stories collected and written by the Buddhist monk Ajahn Brahm. I really recommend you check out the book, and a link to his monastery will be in the description down below. If you're into Buddhist philosophy, spirituality, or self-help, I really recommend you check them out. They're great. They do Dharma talks and guided meditations, and I really recommend you check them out. If you're into that at all, you won't be disappointed. Now, there are a lot of stories in this book that I love and relate with and have learned a lot from. In fact, basically, every story has something for you to take away from. But the reason I chose to cover this story in particular is because this is a story I use just about every day in my day-to-day life. So I'm sure you're all wondering,
do you use this in your day-to-day life?
It all comes down to the ending of that story. Now, it may seem like the husband randomly decides to change his mind and agree that it was the chicken, and that's because the story doesn't come across too well in video. That's why I really recommend that you read the original writing. I will have a link for it down below in the description on a PBS website. I really recommend you check it out to really get a better feel for the story and a better understanding of the message it has. At the end of the story, you can see the husband is angry, he's yelling at the wife, and the wife is on the verge of tears when he suddenly changes his mind and says it's a chicken. The reason it's given because of this is as the wife is about to cry, the husband remembers the reason that he loved her in the first place and the reasons that he married her. He remembers all the good times they have together, all the fun they have together, and ultimately decides that it's just not worth it to get into an argument about this. We can use this story now more than ever before in human history. With access to the internet, how often are we scrolling through Reddit or Instagram or Twitter and we see someone putting out the new hot take and we think, wow, this person's an idiot, I need to crush them. So of course we respond to them and we think our argument's well thought out and well reasoned that we're going to convince them, but you never do. You never do. And you end up just destroying your own happiness. I once heard it said you can choose to be right or you can choose to be happy. How many of us give up our own happiness just so we can be right? And even going back to the original meaning of the story with loved ones, how often do we just dismiss our loved ones and just argue with them because we want to be right? And I know someone out there is going to be like,
But Channy, I went over to my boyfriend's house and he had a swastika flag in the living room and started reading Mein Kampf to me.
and in that case, yeah, you probably should leave that person like right now because they are a very bad person. But for most things, they don't matter. They don't matter. Even if you did convince them, what happens then? Nothing. Ultimately, you have to make a decision your happiness or just being right and convincing the other person. Chances are you're not going to convince them. You're only going to make them angry. And you're just not going to end up feeling very well. And if it's a friend you've had for a very long time, you may even destroy your friendship. I remember an Edgar Allan Poe quote I read somewhere that said, "Years of love forgotten in a moment of hatred." And I think that's something that the story really resonates with too. How often have we been in the middle of an argument and said something really mean and angry and something we really shouldn't have said to that person if we cared about them? And a lot of that is because we let hatred and passions of the moment consume us. And really, we need to be mindful of the love and the history we've had with that person in the past. And we shouldn't get so caught up in these petty arguments. I know this has been kind of a rambly video that really hasn't been covering any aspect of the story too coherently, but that is because I have many thoughts on this story. There's a lot of ways you can interpret it, and I'd love to see what you guys take from the story down below. And if you've read this book, please, 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 oh Lord, please share with me your favorite stories from the book or any of your favorite Ajahn Brahm talks. I love Ajahn Brahm. I try and listen to him as much as I can, and I recommend you guys do too. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know, like the last one, this one is a little bit different than what I normally do, but I'm really trying to experiment with some new styles and pump out more content. So if you enjoyed the style, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to follow me on social. Instagrams and Twitters are right here. Give me a follow on there. I'd love to hear from you guys. Always loving hearing people's opinions. This is Channy Lee signing off, and remember, be kind to one another.